I would like to start by asking every single one of you to go deep into your mind, into your most favorite ever food memory. Now, really think about the aroma. Think about the people you were with, the place, the smells. Lock it in. You should be salivating. We all have those beautiful, specific memories. Now, on the other hand, I want you to really think about flavors and foods that you really dislike. So we're coming up to Christmas, so it could be sprouts, anchovies. The mere thought of these flavors make you go, ah! But isn't it fantastic? Now, I believe it's really interesting how food can evoke such powerful emotions, both positive and negative. Now, in any major personal or professional festivities, if you like, food plays a major role. Birthdays, Christmas, you name it, food is always there. It's as if our timeline is sprinkled with food flashbacks. So then, why is it that food evokes such powerful, lifelong memories? Ever since I can remember, my life has revolved around food, literally. I grew up in Venezuela. I was born there, and then we flew all the way over to England. Hot and cold, if you like. I spent countless hours in the kitchens with my family, preparing different meals, being with my mum, my grandmother, and my aunties. It was phenomenal. And every time they were there, a feast would be laid out, as if Harry Potter just waved his magic food wand. Now, during this time, I was quite young, and I have to say that I managed to almost burn our house down. Not once, but twice. The first time would be when my mum was showing me how to bake cakes, as she would prepare these for weddings. So I wasn't allowed on the wedding cakes because they were quite expensive, but I was allowed on the pies. And let's just say I may have misjudged the time, the cooking, and the temperature of the oven. But the second time was even more special. It would be when I was obsessed with Chinese food. I loved how the chefs on TV would control the fire, but especially I was in love with the woks. Now on TV, the chefs tell you the wok has to be smoking hot. So as a good apprentice, that's exactly what I did, and then set the wok on fire. Now, I soon learned, I really learned that I love to cook. I love to be in the kitchen. I love to see people's reactions. It was phenomenal for me. And my poor mum, even after all the mishaps in the house, she was very supportive of me then and is still very supportive of me now. But these moments were more than just about food. They were about togetherness with the family, the love that food can bring. It's not about that family just eats together, stays together, but family that cooks together, stays together. Now, the first ever meal I was introduced to in the UK on a rainy September day, of course it was raining because you know England has generally quite grumpy weather. That dish was fish and chips, and it was brought to us by our dad. Now, he gathered us all around the table. He brought in this beautiful parcel, and he started unwrapping it like a Christmas gift. And as he unwrapped it, the aroma hit my face. And then I could see it, slowly but surely, the big fat chips, the beer-battered fish. It was huge. But at the same time, that entire memory was just incredible. And it was etched in my mind. All of these moments then led to the foundation of my culinary journey. And the reason why I remember things so clearly is because quite simply, it involved food. Now, as I grew up and as a teenager, I had two really deep passions: music or food. And I was faced with a conundrum one day: what to do as a career. And I didn't really listen to my dad too much, but the one piece of advice that he gave me and I listened to changed the trajectory of my life. He said, "James, if you become a chef, you'll be able to travel the world. You'll never be out of a job. But more importantly," he said, "everybody needs to eat." He had a point, right? Everybody needs to eat. So I did listen to him, and food did take me to places, and I've met some phenomenal people along the way, and oh my God, it's been a phenomenal journey. So what did I do next? I studied. I worked hard, really hard. I even got to work with my culinary idols, people such as Gordon Ramsay, Raymond Blanc, and these fine gentlemen would then really pass on their knowledge. Like a culinary torch, handed it over to me, and I became a sponge. I soaked up as much information as I possibly could from any possible resource. I was literally obsessed, to the point that I even went onto the BBC and I had my own television show taking on impossible catering challenges. But throughout that whole period, I never ever stopped collecting food data. It wasn't just about the experiences I could give to myself, but it was the experiences that I could give to my chefs, my team, guests, but more importantly, the experiences that I could give to my loved ones. So, like most people, I would say, when I first came to the Middle East, the plan was simple. 2 years, come in, learn, do the job, go home. But then, I met the love of my life. Maria is the one who continues to guide me. She's the one who is continuously pushing me to become the very best chef possible. Like any good, incredible wife, partner, she's constantly challenging me, constantly. In a good way, of course, because she knows my potential and she knows my goals. Truly, she is one of the reasons I'm here talking to all of you today. Now, let me tell you, I've cooked for heads of state, royalty, prime ministers, even in front of millions of people on TV. But the only time I was truly a nervous wreck was when both my mum and my wife decided to dine at my restaurant for the very first time. Now, as you can imagine, these two had always played such a huge role in my life. So I was a bit scared. But luckily, I managed to produce an exceptional meal for them. And again, that food, that memory, was etched in my mind forever thanks to food. Now this year, my beautiful wife and I, we celebrate 10 years of our wedding anniversary, believe it or not. 10 years! I'm super proud of that. It's phenomenal. Now, just before I proposed, I decided to make a Thai beef salad. And it must have been quite good, because she said yes. But the funny thing is, we actually celebrated our anniversary in Thailand itself this year. Again, solidifying that experience. And guess who played a huge part in that? Again, food. Now, I have a podcast, and when I talk to chefs, food critics, bloggers, whoever it may be, they all echo the same sentiment. No matter who you are, where you come from, food connects us, transports us all together to the best memories and to our worst memories. As children, we form those memories. And normally, they're just waiting to be unlocked. And it could be an aroma, or it could be a taste that unlocks that memory. Now, the best thing about my job is that I never, ever, ever stop learning. I can learn from all of you. Every single one of you have got a recipe that I can learn from. So again, when I was 9, my mum was showing me how to bake these cakes, and I think she really regretted it by the time I made 8 cakes in 3 days. But I wanted to make it beautiful and perfect and scientific because I was obsessed with those details. You know those really annoying kids who just constantly ask questions and never shut up? Why? Yeah, that was me. I was that annoying kid. And the truth is, I'm curious about everybody's journey with food. Food is the common thread that binds us all together. It doesn't matter your nationality, your religious beliefs, political views. It's the one thing that brings us closer when we listen and when we share our stories. Now, my dad loved to tell stories, and his favorite thing in the world was always showing off and telling stories. Especially when it came to me. He would tell all his friends. He would even come to me. But he loved seafood and fish. That was his thing. He loved it. So often, he would mock me. Really mock me. Whether it was privately or whether it was in front of so many people, he would do it. Supermarkets were his favorite thing. And he would say, James, I'm the one that taught you how to cook beautifully and all this stuff. None of these fancy chefs. Fish and chips would be one of the last meals I ever shared with my father before he passed away. On that particular day, we shared so many memories. We laughed, told stories, and again, he was the one to unwrap the paper, sending me back to that September rainy day. Again, that occasion was thanks to food. But we all have memories, don't we? Super vivid memories, and most of them are related to food. The reason being is because giving food to somebody is an act of love. The people we share it with. Anything and everything to do with food is about sharing. We put so much of our hearts into food, not just as chefs, but as a family and for strangers. Whenever we break bread, we become friends. Now, it's easy to see the direct link, how taste buds can then transfer us with memories. Because to do that, 2 major things need to happen. You must have a physical sensation grounded into an emotional experience. So, if we break that down scientifically, how do we do that? Now, I'm going to ask you again to go back to your first ever food memory. So, when it was your birthday, if it was a first date, whatever it may be, when you were having those memories and you were just eating away, as you do, not even thinking about it, those flavors then wash over our taste buds. And then those taste buds have receptors, which then hit the brainstem. And like a highway, the brain is sending signals continuously. And they're just talking. And then they're telling you, this is salt, this is sweet, this is savory, this is hot. But why is that important? Well, because it's the same area of the brain which is responsible for your emotional processes and also for your memory storage. It's the same place. And that is the direct link to food and memories. Now, for those of you who are not studying brain neurology, the exact part of the brain is called the hippocampus. Like a hippo and a campus. Hippocampus. So, as a chef, as a father, as a son, as a husband, I'm just going to ask you one thing. Go and create beautiful food. Experience the world's diverse flavors. Make incredible moments for yourself and for your loved ones. Now I'm going to leave you with one last morsel of advice. Food is memories. Whether it's being consumed or being prepared, these memories remain with us forever. Thank you.